until now, Sevan has been basically focusing on the North Sea, Norway and the UK and Brazil. We looked and are looking at some projects in Asia, but we haven't really looked at the Gulf of Mexico. But of course, the first FPSO in the Gulf of Mexico came in there a few years ago with the Cascade Chinook project with Petrobras, and now the second FPSO with Shell Stones is in position and will start producing later this year. So for the ultra deep waters in the Gulf of Mexico, we think there's a market for our units. We have a little bit of a different approach from the other operators there. We think it's better to stay on location and ride out the storm rather than disconnect and get out of there if there's a hurricane or a hurricane warning. And this is where our units are superior to other units. We have better motions, we have a very robust mooring system, and we've also designed our units such that they can, if there is something else drifting out there during a hurricane and it collides with our unit, there won't be this will not result in an oil spill because we've designed the tanks and so forth to accommodate for that. So that basically satisfies the main concerns of the regulatory agencies in the US. Yeah, I think what we've seen lately and what has been emphasized a lot on this conference is that prices has to come down. We need to get rid of all the unnecessary specifications, unnecessary requirements, procedures, and the way we've been working, because it's all driving cost. So it'll be more for the end client, the operators, the oil companies, just to define the requirements, and then it'll be up to the industry to ensure that we can design and build products that meet the requirements, are safe and will work, but we don't need to sort of overbuild or overdesign them. So I think that's the message. And the other thing is that with the current oil price, and I think it's likely that it will stay low for a while, then new technology that takes the cost down. The normally very conservative oil companies are more motivated now to look at new technologies and actually apply new technologies to their projects to get price down. So for a company like Sevan, which has a very cost-effective technology, this climate could also have a positive side. Yeah, I think partnerships are important, and I think the way we work together are important, and if we don't work efficiently together, it drives costs in the wrong direction. I think we've seen, and we've experienced it in Sevan, where we've seen clients entering into EPC contracts and having sort of hands-off approach. It's an EPC contract, we don't get involved, it's a contractor who has to resolve it. That hasn't worked. You have to work with the contractor as a partner, whether it is a formal partnership contract arrangement or if it's a more standard EPC type contract. You still work as if you were partners, and you resolve the issues quickly and efficiently as they arise. You don't say that's not my problem, you go to resolve it. You resolve it together. We did that in Sevan on the drilling units, working with COSCO in China, and it worked brilliantly. The contracts were there. Everybody knew who had to pick up the bill, but we worked as a team, and the units were delivered on schedule and on budget. That's simple. They got to go cylindrical for the next project. Forget the turret, forget the swivel. By doing that, you cut several $100 million off your project immediately and go for a cylindrical Sevan unit. I think the conference has been very honest this year. There has been some speakers who has painted a pretty depressive picture, and I think that's correct because it is pretty depressive right now. And then there's the other side to the conference. It's the people you meet who are not speaking but who come up to you, and you sort of exchange ideas, and you may you extend your network, not just extending the network for the sake of extending the network, but it will hopefully create business for both parties.